fears created from the traumatized event that we have gone through, which is there signaling that something is wrong. You have to be careful of something, let's say, because there is pain there and is trying to protect us. We store this in order to be able to process them. That will be the key, I think, of our conversation, because that is what it should be done, the healthy way to heal through our fears, to process them. So they are actually, in a way, there to protect us. They are stored in the subconsciousness, into the body. They become somatic as well. It's like you get burned from the fire. You feel that pain. Immediately, that pain, that traumatized event gets into your system, and it creates a fear in order to protect you not to get burned again.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to anyone who has just now joined another MeTimePod episode. Welcome. We had a little bit of technical stuff happening, so this episode has started very interestingly, and I'm not sure what the universe is trying to tell us, because at first we couldn't connect our sounds. Then instead of muting my beautiful guest, I muted myself. So let's see where this is going. As I always say, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm sure it's meaningful and it's gonna be something beautiful. Guys, this is something incredible that's happening today, and only thing I can do is laugh. But I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, actually, it's funny. Anyhow, today's topic is something that came to me, again, out of personal realizations, personal experiences, and I believe very global experiences as well. Fear. What is fear? How fear is created, where we store it, how we can deal with it, do we need to deal with it, and so on. We live right now in a world that is full of uncertainties, let's say it, let's keep it there, very polite correct, right? Uncertainties that we don't really have control over, and it causes lots of fear and turbulence in the society, in us, and that's not the only thing. Obviously, very daily things like work and or changes or relationships can also cause any kinds of fear. So I wanted to explore that. I wanted to talk about that. And I have an amazing guest that can help us unpack fears. Veatriki. Veatriki is a friend, my spiritual guru, my as I call Veatriki, my angel that came into my life in the most probably needed moment. And Veatriki is the part of the heart and soul of Yogi Turtle, another beautiful place and a community here in Nicosia where we're based. Veatriki Mu, welcome! Welcome to MeTimePod. I will unmute you just now. And welcome.
Thank you, Eliza. Thank you. It is an honor for me to be doing this with you. Thank you for inviting me. And I'm very happy that we have managed to do it under different difficulties, yes. But I think it's also what is coming up for us. It's the intention, and that intention, fear, usually needs some laugh as well. So we started very well by laughing.
I can tell because yeah, I was actually worried about how everything will go. And, it's the usual. That's my fear whenever I'm doing the recordings, how it will go, what's with the technology part. So it really proved the whole point. But here we are. Veatriki Mu, to start off, I would like you to, besides my introduction, I would like you to introduce yourself. You know you better, and you can share a little bit more. What is your experience? What are perhaps the healing modalities you're working with? And what's your relationship with fear?
Thank you. So yes, it's been now 8-9 years that I'm working with different healing modalities, as you said as well. Practicing this through the Yogi Turtle, the studio. So it all began from my own spiritual journey, going through my own healing. I have discovered something beautiful, something magical for me and very powerful, that I could help myself, I could help the others around me, I could help create the life that I wanted by releasing all that was too heavy and was limiting me and creating blockages in my life. So based on that, and as I saw how we can affect each other, let's say in a positive way, heal each other by interacting and by supporting and by being there and providing a safe space and a channel of energy. Then I went through my training, let's say, of learning through these healing modalities that I am using. I am a certified facilitator of breath work. I practice holosomatic breathwork method, a facilitator of chakra dance, working with the chakras through movement, a somatic way of healing. I'm also a facilitator of kids yoga. I facilitate classes for kids yoga and energy healer, working with meridians, working with the chakras, with the Usui Reiki Holy Fire method. I am a master of Reiki Usui Holy Fire. Yes, meridian psychotherapy, different modalities that I have learned. I have practiced them as well in my own spiritual journey. And up to this point now, I'm in the process of creating a beautiful combination. So my philosophy, let's say, or my vision is to bring all together and based on whatever it's needed for each person, but also collectively to use these methods and help other people to create the ground and also to be a channel of all these methods for other people to be able to release and heal and create a positive and a healthy way of life. So yes, I facilitate classes, I facilitate workshops, retreats, and training sessions. Yes. And this is
Beautiful.
about, yes, my background, my relationship
Beautiful.
with fear. Do you want me to answer that as well?
We can. If you don't want to answer it now, we can answer it later.
I can answer it now. I think it's a good beginning, actually, that you have asked that, because the thing is that, except of all that, from what I have described before, helping other people, the most important thing for me is help myself. And because we are humans, we are in a, as I describe it, in a growth and healing journey, and we always have different things happening into our life. Nothing is stable. We cannot just say that this is it and it's over. Every second is changing. So we have so many changes and triggerings coming into our life, challenges, that there is always something to work on. So I do have fears. Yes. My relationship with my fears is that I'm not afraid of them anymore. So I have learned through my process, through my life journey, let's say, to process them. Actually, that it's a correct word to use. Process them, so to understand them, to process them, to see from where they are coming from and what they are trying to tell me through different ways, and after processing them, to be able to release them, let them go, and learn from them. So this is what I am trying to do most of the times, at least.
You mentioned the processing, and we will get to that part as well. I want to talk more about the ways how we can process fear and and especially how we can let fear go. But I think we need to start from the very beginning of actually where fears are created, how fears are created, and what, because there are different kinds of fears, right? Like at least that's my understanding, that we can be afraid, as I mentioned, we can be afraid of, I don't know, very basic daily things of like changing work, or having some difficulties, or changes in relationships, or anything. And then we have those very global fears. We don't really know how to approach them. At least I don't. And also, I just came to me now about, we usually say we have the rational fears and irrational fears. So how all this comes together and where it is created.
So fears, actually, they are created from our traumas, from things that we have gone through in our life. And this covers all these kind of fears, the irrational and the ones that we cannot really understand why. So maybe you have a fear for cats, let's say, for snakes, which can be the irrational ones. But even that, if you go back, you can find a link to something that happened to you, and our mind has created that, the link with the particular thing, which can be the cats or the snakes or whatever. So everything comes from things that we go through our life, which they traumatize us, they are painful for us at that point. And what is happening is that we go through the trauma. At that point, in order to be able to survive, we store the trauma into our subconsciousness, and then that is stored not only into our subconsciousness, just also into our body and into our energy field. So they are there as signals to signal that there is something something happened to you, and you have to be careful of. That is the fear. So a fear is created from the traumatized event that we have gone through, which is there signaling that something is wrong. You have to be careful of something, let's say, because there is pain there and is trying to protect us. We store this in order to be able to process them. That will be the key, I think, of our conversation, because that is what it should be done, the healthy way to heal through our fears, to process them. So they are actually, in a way, there for us to protect us. But they are stored in the subconsciousness, into the body. They become somatic as well. So it's like you get burned from the fire. You feel that pain. Immediately, that pain, that traumatized event gets into your system, and it creates a fear in order to protect you, not to get burned again.
Can it be because... what do I want to say? Basically, about the protection part. Is it always about protecting, or can that protection sometimes be like too much? You know, like that it creates this false sense of doubt and false sense of insecurities, that there is actually, it's not even a fear, but it creates this sense of, I don't know about that. And again, if that's the case, where does it come from?
Yes. So it's the next step, what you are describing, that after we have gone through the traumas, they create that signals that we have to get protected. We have to learn from the experience. So getting burned, then you have the fear of the fire. So you learned not to get burned again. That is a process, the learning part. If we don't have the time, the space, the tools to go through and process what has happened, then actually that fear, it becomes unhealthy. It is not there to protect us anymore. It is just there signaling into your body, into your mind, into your whole system that you are in danger, and we cannot be always in danger. The body will start reacting then, and will start feeling unsafe, sick. Your whole energy will be flowing towards that direction of the fear, so there won't be any energy to heal your organs, your body. That's why the body starts feeling sick. So we have a stagnation, let's say, what we called it in the energy healing. There is a fear that all the energy is absorbed there, and there is no energy for you to be creative, to be happy, to create the life that you want, and to be healthy. So that is where the problem starts.
That's very interesting. And it's, you know it, but for those who don't, for the past 2+ weeks, I have been sick. And I was, and I'm still dealing with some stuff in my ears, and it's much better, but it's okay. But it was very interesting that it all kind of grew, and I noticed that it all kind of came out after I paid so much attention again to this global madness. And I was so focused on that and the news, not only news, basically social media. Besides that, I feel like it was the process of after leaving my work that, again, it's something new. There is the uncertainty, and although I'm excited, but there is still this uncertainty that, what if things do not work out? So it's very interesting that you mentioned that part that our energy actually kind of goes to that fear and stays there, and just kind of where our attention goes, the thing grows, right? If that's somehow connected, if that's linked with it.
Exactly. This is a very important point, actually, from what is happening. And it's good to mention that because, yes, when we have things happening around us and changes happening, then this vibration of the change, but also the vibration of the collective fear, because everyone is in panic and in fear, is triggering our own fears. And they start coming up. And yes, you have all the energy flowing there, and you forget about your present moment. This is something that I would like to share as well, because fears, we said we have the traumatized events which they happen, and they belong to the past. Now, the fears created, they are based on the past events, and they are created to protect you into the future. So we are talking about the past and the future, and we forget about the present moment. So that is very, very important, because when you forget about your present moment, then you disconnect from your environment. That's why when the fear becomes too much and it becomes like a panic attack, you just lose the connection with whatever is happening around you. You lose the connection with your body, because you are not here, you are in your mind. The fears are in your mind. They belong to the past and the present. They are not actually there into your present moment. So you can disconnect from your body, you can get sick, you can feel dizzy, the heartbeat, everything is creating that panic within your body. And you disconnect from whatever is happening around you as well, so you cannot feel safe. You don't have the ground to feel safe. You cannot feel that you have the support from the people, from your family. It's like you are lost in space, because it is actually like you're lost in space. You are not in your present moment. You are somewhere which doesn't exist. The past and the future doesn't exist. It's only now, and the now you are not there.
Yeah, that's true. I think not only due to fears, but I think that's something we forget very often in our day-to-day lives for whatever reason. You mentioned, tell me.
Yes, and I just wanted to mention something about the present moment. I don't know if it's something that we're going to cover later, but something that makes things difficult for us to be in our present moment so we can process what is happening is that we don't have the space and the time to do that anymore. And the right space to do it, it is a natural environment. That is creating a big problem for us. We used to have such a beautiful relationship with nature around us that could actually help you feel grounded, because you were there. You were there, you could feel the earth, you could feel the elements of nature to help you ground, to help you feel supported and safe. When you are in nature, you don't have any stimulations like you have in your busy life, being in your busy routine, in an office, being in the traffic, a lot of people. All these triggers and all these stimulations do not help you into finding the right space, the safe space to process your fears. You don't have time to process them because you have all these stimulations coming in all the time. And the time. Before, we used to be working with nature. So when you was waking up with the sun and going and finishing with your job and everything when the sun was leaving. At that point, you had all the time after the sun was gone to process what was happening with you and to process your emotions, your traumas, your fears and everything. Now we don't have that. We spend a lot of time doing stuff even when the sun goes away. And we are so tired at the end of the day that we don't want to process anything.
So that's part, then space and time, and especially space and time within nature, that's part of the processing of fears, right? That's, did I understand correctly?
Yes, it is part of the processing of the fears as well. And what is creating now the problem, to consider the fears as a problem. And also the nature, it provides you as well a good energetic support, let's say, because we are made of energy. The life force energy that gives life to all living things. Nature, it has that energy as well that is giving the life force energy to everything which is surrounding us to bring life on earth. And when you have, it's like batteries, when you have two batteries together, the one connected with the other, it can help the flow of the energy, of the current. So it's the same thing being there, being connected with a clear flow of energy, because the nature doesn't have that blockage that the people can have. So there is a free flow of energy that can help your energy to flow freely and to release these emotions and these fears. The fears and the emotions, they get stuck on our energy. If we have a free flow, then we can help them being released.
I know that this is a bit later on our notes, but I feel like the intuition comes to me, the part of talking a little bit more about intuition, because intuition is also that energy, our inner higher energy, right? And and I recently, as I was preparing for this episode, I saw somewhere a quote, don't remember by whom or where, probably social media, but the quote goes, most people aren't stuck because they don't know what to do. They are stuck because their fear learn how to sound like logic and wisdom. And that for me felt very powerful, very mind-blowing, but also like, okay, I don't want to use the word scary, but because it's on brand today, let's use it. But yeah, like, so it means our fears can actually kind of like mutate in a way and sound like our logical mind or our wise mind. So there I want to ask about the intuition. How can we distinguish where is our intuition and where is that fear that wants to say something or warn us about something?
Perfect. That brings us again back to my favorite word for today, the process. So when, as we said, going back to the beginning, we have the traumas that create the emotions they create the fears. When we process this, the intention is, as we said, to process them so we can get the learnings out of it. We can get the knowledge, we can get the wisdom. That wisdom, it becomes part of us. That is our intuition, is the inner wisdom that we bring. So if the fears have been processed and we get the learning and the wisdom, that intuition comes very powerful. It's clear, it's powerful, and it has good intention. So it's not scary, it's not weak. If you have a fear, the fear it will come with that feeling of feeling sick, of feeling weak, of feeling uncertain. The intuition, it doesn't come with that feeling. It comes with the wisdom, as powerful as the word sounds right now to our ears. When you have that wisdom, that inner wisdom, you know that it's true. You know that there is no doubt about it. There is no uncertainty. You know exactly where to go and what to do. If you have that powerful feeling of, no, I shouldn't do that, and I'm very confident about that, then it's coming from you, from your intuition. If you have a feeling of, no, I don't want to do that, I'm very scared, I'm shaking, and it's fearful, and it's weak, it's creating a weakness, then it's coming from our fear. It's a way to be able to at least to challenge it at the beginning, because I think everyone has to go into the challenge of the question that you have said, actually, to find that thin line between the two. But being in the process of working with yourself, usually you get closer and closer to your intuition. That will give you again your reply. So you know that if you are not in a process of dealing with your fears and healing yourself, then most probably it's coming from a stagnation and from fears. But if you're already in that process of cleansing and releasing and letting go of fears and processing and learning, then you know that, no, I have a good background of learnings, let's say, of wisdom to identify what is good for me and not, and that is my intuition. And it's coming very powerful.
Again, I actually have an example for this. Happened recently. And I was actually questioning if it is my fear of, again, trying and doing too much, or if it's my intuition and my wisdom telling me, no, you have to stop because you want to do other things. And it was very, very like, at first I was doubting and I was trying to over explain myself, to my boyfriend, to like whomever. I was trying to over explain my decisions or thoughts that are passing through. But somehow I ended up saying, no, you know what? I feel good in this decision. And I think that's where I could also say that was my intuition, that I feel good and I feel strong in that. I said no to this opportunity that perhaps initially I said, yes, I want to do something. But then I felt like, yeah, but no, there is something that tells me not to do it. And it's not because I cannot, but right now I don't want to, because I have other priorities, you know? That was really powerful. That actually felt powerful.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly, Eliza. You feel it powerful. It's coming within you. It's coming from your center, what we say, which is being in your center, being into your truth. After processing and going into your healing, now you can identify what is actually true and what is of the mind. When we're talking about the mind, is that fear of the past and the future. But being present and being centered, you know that, no, this is coming from within. And it's my intuition. It's whatever I have gained from my experience to be able to decide about myself. And a good exercise on that is actually being centered, grounding yourself, taking a few deep breaths, and to feel, to really connect with your body, connect with your heart, connect with your mind, relaxing the thoughts, and then the intuition can work.
So, and that again is part of the process, right? Like the processing of the fears, I feel it's, again, there is not just one frame fits all, but the core, what I understand is we need the space, we need the time, a little bit of alignment with ourselves, with our inner selves, with our environment perhaps as well. What about our truth?
Our truth. Yes.
How our truth, yes, because that is also part of the intuition, right? But is there something more to it? I feel like I don't know why I feel like the truth is
Mm-hmm.
something even bigger than everything we have discussed so far.
Mm-hmm. Because the truth is actually our healing process. Is what we said before. Is a process of processing things. So I'm going to be to connecting everything again. So we talked about going through traumas, and we all do that. It's part of our learning experience. It's part of why we are here, to learn, to grow, and expand through our challenges. So we have all these things that comes for us, the traumas they create the emotions. The emotions, if they get stuck, they create the fears. The fears then, they create that uncertainty and panic into our life. In order for us to control the fears, if we don't process them, which is something that we didn't say, we can create different kind of structures and patterns so we can feel safe within our fears. So there is this stagnation of fears within ourselves. We are always in a mode of fear, of danger. And in order to be able to feel safe, we create different kind of patterns and structures around us so we feel that we have control. We cannot control what is happening within us, so we try to control what is happening around us. But that is unhealthy because nothing can save us from whatever is happening within us. And also it puts us into a cycle, let's say, of creating more fears again and again because nothing is stable, as we said before, in our life. Everything is changing. Every single second is a different from the past one. So you have changes happening in your life. So that control environment that you have created cannot stay there all the time. You cannot exclude parts and say, no, I'm going to stay there. Changes will be happening. These changes, they will come as triggers to your fears because you have never processed them. You just have created a false control environment. So it will be triggering again and again. It will be creating more fears and more fears. And then we get stuck into that. Now, all this stagnation that we have talked about, the traumas, the emotions, the fears, the unhealthy patterns, they are not actually who we truly are. Who we truly are, it's what we learn through our life, what we have created through our life life process, let's say. So after we process all this and we release them, then you can find who you truly are. You can find your truth. So releasing all these layers that we have described before, then you can slowly come back to who you truly are, which you are the power that you said that we create from our intuition. We are our intuition. We are the knowledge created, the wisdom. We are the power that we have found, the courage that we have found. We are our body. We are our creativity. We are all this after we release the learning process, let's say, after we release the emotions and the traumas that we carry. So that it's going back to our truth. The truth is very simple. It's actually going back. It's not going going forward, but going back into what originally we are made of without all that limitations that the emotions and the fears have created for us.
Is there ever a moment when we don't feel fear of anything?
Actually, if you manage to come to your present moment and consider what is happening at that point of time and really be there, yes, there is no fear because the mind is stop thinking. It will stop thinking about the past and the future and will stay there into your present moment. I will give you an example. It can be an extreme example, but if you have someone at this point now in front of you creating pain to you, you are going to feel the pain. You're not going to feel fear. The fear will be created for the future based on what you have just lived at that point in your life. So being present, you are actually, yes, the body will feel fear. So being present, you're going to be actually into your body, into whatever is happening right now, and you are not into your mind. So in that moment, when you have someone creating pain to you, you're not going to consider what will happen in the future. No, the mind is just present, but we don't need the pain to be present. We can use other ways and other methods to be present, and we can actually have a life without fear. And when fears are coming in, going into our process, this is part of our growth and our healing journey. We learn so we can have a better quality of life. So things are coming, challenges are still coming, fears might be challenging us as well, but we can process them and we can release them and expand even more. So bringing that quality in our life.
You mentioned about the besides feeling pain, that there are other methods how we can be present and how we can be in the moment. Could you please share a few tips for someone who perhaps is being in this sense of that everything is crap, and things are where they are right now, and perhaps someone again is worried about the world state, someone is worried about their inner state, one way or another. Someone is not in the present state. So how can we help ourselves? How can we treat ourselves, deal with this fear that comes up? You mentioned taking a few deep breaths also to come back to the intuition, right? But what else is there that we could try and do for ourselves? And when it's the moment? Is it when already we feel in this sense of panic? Or is there also something we can do before?
Perfect. So as we said, it's being present, and you can do that with different ways. Which the one, it's actually your breath. So you concentrate on your breath. Not only concentrating your breath will allow your focus to go on your breath, but also the breath will help your mind to go into the relaxing mode. So to get you out from the survival mode, to get you out from the panic and the fear, and to get into the relaxing mode so you can feel safe, as we say. So the breathing, it's very, very, very important. The meditation, and the meditation, it can be in different forms. When we are talking about the meditation, we don't need to take the meditation just in a traditional form. It can be a silent meditation, so you just stay into your silent form as long as you can. It can be with some relaxing music, because the relaxing music will help again the mind to go into the relaxation mode and get out from the panic. It can be by doing something creative, like dancing or drawing. It can be being in nature as well, working with nature. As we said, the nature help us too. And also it can be in anything that we are doing. If you just focus on what you are doing at that point of time. So if you are washing your dishes, just focus on washing your dishes, and you can direct. Maybe someone will say that seems very easy when you talk about it, but not when you are doing it, because when we're doing something which is practical and doesn't need a lot of thinking, then the mind starts thinking other things. If you think that the mind is thinking something which is valuable, okay, but if it gets into your fear mode, bring it back by really focusing on every movement that you make, actually observing the dish, washing the dish, the water, feel the sensation of everything that you are doing. The sensations is another good meditation, going back into your sensations, waking up your sensations. That is part of your truth. We are talking about our truth, as we said before, your body, your mind, your sensations. and your safety. When you start considering that is a third part, as we said, is the breathing, it's our meditation, it's the creative parts that we already mentioned. The movement, it's a very powerful healing process. Actually, we have been using movement for ages and ages for healing ourselves. So dancing, it's a very powerful healing process, as well as the music. Which carries healing vibrations. But also, if you want to work a bit more with the mind, just bring yourself into what is happening now. As we said, as an example, there is too many things creating uncertainty out there. That immediately is affecting everyone, because everyone has gone through, maybe not us, but our family, our ancestors have gone through this uncertainty of not having a shelter, of not having food, of suffering, of killings, of wars, of whatever is happening. We have all have ancestors that they have gone through that. We carry that into our DNA. It's trauma of the ancestors that we carry it. So as soon as something is happening out there, it's triggering immediately our fears. But we are not there. And taking ourselves there, it doesn't help anyone. So just bring yourself into your present moment. Where am I? Go into your body first. Feel your body. Feel your body that you are safe. You have your ground. You have your safety into your body. You have your house. You have a support system. You know where you're going to go whenever it's needed something. You have also a support system in terms of having someone to talk and share your thoughts and ideas. Go outside to nature. We are talking about not having enough food, for example. If you go, especially now, outside in nature, which is spring, you can find so many things that you can eat. Maybe you don't want to be eating only the green stuff and the vegetables and the flowers. It's okay. But if you bring it into your mind that in case that I don't have anything else, I can find something. There are fruits, there are vegetables. I can find something. I can find water. So just going and bringing yourself back into what is happening there for you and your environment, it's a beautiful way to come back into your center. And working with your energy as well. It's very important, which can be done through exercises, through movement, through the music, as we said, your meditation, your breathing.
Beautiful. It reminded me again something I did a couple of weeks ago on the MeTimePod Instagram page, that I realized, and I shared it also with the people who might feel in the same similar place, that especially when it comes to these global madnesses, these global uncertainties that we have zero control over. We can't do anything about it except just being here and now. And that I reminded myself that in case, knock on wood somewhere, in case if the world goes to shambles tomorrow, I want to make sure that I have tried my best for myself. That I just want to make sure that whatever it is that I'm doing in my life, or how I'm feeling, or how I'm being, that I'm trying. Doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't exist, but that I know that I'm trying to do something good for myself. Something for my energy, something for my health, something that I love doing, and these small things. And that actually, that thought helped, that realization helped to be like, you know what? Pardon my language, but fuck it. I don't want this to allow to control me. And I think when we, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when we have this realization of like, I don't want this to control me. I don't want this I don't want to allow it to take over me. I think that's like a huge step outside of the fear, and it's might as well be a huge step into the processing Is that correct?
Is that correct, Eliza? Is what we said before. When we are processing it, we have the power, we have the courage, we have the intuition, we have the ways, we have the logic. You know what to do and where to go. You are centered, you are grounded and centered. Whereas the fear, it takes you all over the place. It just removes you from your center. So you cannot control anything when you are in the fear. Not only for yourself, but what you said as well now, it's very important because, as we said before, we are not alone. We are living with people around us, and our vibrations affect the vibration of the energy of others, and the same thing with the others. So if we manage to stay into our center and work with ourselves and ground ourselves and believe and work in a better quality of life, whatever is happening there, then you can affect the vibration of other people around you. So you cannot actually go and solve these big issues which are happening outside, but you can start from yourself and from the person next to you and the other person and the other person. And that, if it's happening simultaneously for many of us, then it's creating a big change in the collectiveness as well. So it's a huge thing to be able to do it. And yes, and with what we said before, there are so many ways to do it. But even just being, allowing yourself to pause and being. The pausing, it's very, very important. It's what we said before. We need time and space to process. Finding the proper space for you, finding the time. It can be just 5 minutes. Sorry, I just remember now that a question in your question before is that you had doing it when you start feeling the panic. Yes, you do it before you start feeling the panic. But the best way to do it for you not to get into that panic, which is not good for anyone, as we said now, is to work with it every day. So find each of us, we just find 5 minutes, 3 times a day, 5 minutes in the morning, in the midday, and in the night, to do some grounding exercises of breathing, of relaxing the mind, of creativity, of movement, of being outside in nature, something that will help you to be present at that point. That can help and shift your energy so much and change your life, and then the others around you.
I think on this beautiful note, we can slowly close our conversation. I know that there is probably more that we can cover and talk about, and especially about healing and energies and that there is so much. There is so much to talk about, so much to share. But I think I love how this kind of closed everything, that we actually have the power, the chance, the opportunity to create like ripples around us. And although, yes, things around us might be messy and crazy and all kinds of weird and bad and maybe even evil, we can actually be some sort, it will sound so cringe, but we can be the change. And I think that is powerful, although, and we forget about it. So I think, yeah, I think we can stop here. We can leave it here. Do you have anything else you would like to add to this conversation today? Anything you would like to share with our listeners?
I think, Eliza, I said a lot. You know that I like talking. I can talk for another 1 hour. I just want to share, just closing that conversation, that another beautiful way to stay present and to forget to release the fears, it's getting out of the mind and staying into our heart. So just connecting with our heart, giving attention to our heart, giving love to ourselves, giving love to others. The heart is our channel of giving and receive love. It can actually help you heal a lot of things. So trying to be in our heart as much as possible. And yes, and just wanted to share that it was a pleasure to talk to you. You know that we were trying to do that for some time now, and I have to say that there was some fear and some resistance into it, which I'm happy that it has vanished completely from the beginning, because when there is good intentions, the fears, they just go. It's what we said now, the heart. And there is an exchange of heart element here, so it's nice. Thank you, Eliza. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Beautiful. Thank you. I mean,
Thank you.
that's my purpose. That's the purpose, and that's what I want to do. But I do have the surprise question that I told you, and we will try and I'll not go into detail, basically. So you probably remember we have this beautiful connection vibes game, and we have these 3 levels of pink, blue, and green. Green being like a little bit more like chill, fun kind of questions. Blue going a little bit more into the wisdom, let's say, and the pink ones even a little bit more. We will not play the game. We don't have the time for that, and we need a group of people. But I would like you to pick a card, and we see where it takes us. So first, let me put you back on unmute. Which color do you feel like taking today?
I was going to say green because I like the green, but I can challenge myself and go to the blue one.
Ooh,
yes.
Let's do it. So I have the blue ones here. You just, I'll unpack them somehow and just tell me when.
Go again. There. There.
This one?
Yes, that one.
Okay, so. Nice. All right. What is something unexpected you are really good at?
Unexpected, that no one's will be expecting it, that I am really good at. I'm a Gemini. I like so many things. Actually, I try to do everything. Unexpectedly, but I will share something from my past, that unexpectedly I am good at in accounting, which is something that I have
Really?
studied when I was younger, and I
I
am
actually
good at
didn't
it.
know that. It's a good, I'm not.
It's
That
okay,
would be a
Eliza.
skill too. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. So, for those who don't know, these beautiful cards, I'm trying to create them as a tradition of MeTimePod, that at the end of each episode, guests can pick a card and, let's see where the question takes us and where the answers take us. Anyhow, thank you, Veatriki. Thank you for sharing all your wisdom, your knowledge, your energy, and your time with us. And yeah, as I said, there is so much more that we could talk about, and we can, both of us, probably we could talk for another couple of hours.
Of course.
And we can do it another time.
Yes.
We can do it another time. Now that you see it's not so scary.
No, it's not scary. With you, it's not scary at all. So I'm up to it, to do it whenever you want. Thank you, Eliza.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. And for anyone listening, anyone who came all the way to the end, bravo. I hope anything that we shared landed and is something that can help you in your day-to-day life. And perhaps later today, you can even have your 5 minutes with yourself, have your me time, and have your me time every day. These 5 minutes can be very, very crucial. That's it. Thank you very much. Like, follow, subscribe. Like, follow, subscribe, and see you in the next episodes. Ciao. Just a quick reminder. I am not a licensed mental health professional, and this podcast is not a replacement for professional healthcare. While our guests are experts in their respective fields, the conversations shared here are for educational and entertainment purposes only and are not intended as a substitute for medical or therapeutic advice. What's shared reflects personal perspectives and experiences. And if you are struggling or need support, please seek help from a qualified professional near you. Reaching out for help is a strong and healthy step, and there is no shame in doing so.